Morning everyone, and welcome to the first video I've done for a little while. Some of you have already bought the brush sets, the Eleanorly brush sets from me. I know some of you have been thinking about getting them, and I know some people are a little bit nervous of brush sets because they're not sure if they're going to use everything, how they use everything, what the brushes are for. So this video is just to put everyone's mind at rest so they understand what each brush is for. If you've already got the set and you're using them, that's brilliant. There aren't any rules, but I know for some people telling them there aren't any rules is terrifying because if they don't know where to start, being told there are no rules doesn't really help. So what I'm gonna do is actually, as you can see, I have no makeup, daylight, no makeup, Sunday morning, and I'm going to actually apply my makeup and I'm going to do a voiceover as I go along, explaining which of the brushes I've used, why, and what you might be able to use them for as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so here I'm starting with the lip and eye primer. This is a really nice rich texture. It locks eyeshadow and colour onto your eyelid. Even when you're not wearing makeup, it gives your eyelids a really clean, smooth finish, and you use it on your lips as well. So it's brilliant for priming and locking in then colour on the eyes and lips. So I always use that first. And here's the first brush. This is a flat brush. I'm going quite fast here, but this is fairly straightforward. When we get to more complicated things, then I'm going to slow the video down. I just don't want it to be too long for you all. So I'm just applying the lightest shade from my little triple Eleanorly palette all over the lid, almost up to the lash line. And that's with the flat brush that comes in the kit. So the flat brush number one, as I just said. The slightly slanted brush is nice and soft, as you can see. That one's brilliant for what we call your transition colour. So I'm using the medium tone and I'm just going into the crease. I'm not being particularly defined with it. I'm just transitioning from the lightest shade, which is on the actual lid, and I'm just, as you can see, it just puts a little bit of soft definition in. So it's what we call a transition colour. I'm doing a nice 3-colour eye today. It's quite a lot for me to sort of be putting on for a Sunday morning, but I want to show you how the brushes work. So that brush is perfect. It just sits on that crease area, doesn't give you definite lines, just gives you a nice soft smooth application of that medium shade just into the crease and above. Because of the quality of the brush and the quality of the powder, you don't get streaks, you don't get lines of colour. You can gradually add and add until you're where you want to be. You'll probably see I'm doing my eyes before I do the rest of my face, and that's because I'm dreadful at dropping a shadow onto my face, so I don't want to be smearing that all over my foundation. This slightly rounded, soft, full, round brush, this is your blender for your eyes. So whatever we do with our eyes, you cannot overblend. Never think, I've got my eyes right, I don't want to mess it up, I don't want to blend. Always blend. And here we have, this one's got a harder texture, almost more like a sort of pencil. As you can see, it's not a soft, it's got softness, but it's not quite as fluffy a brush. And so now I've gone down to normal speed. I'm just literally putting a good old-fashioned V of the darkest shade into the crease of my eye and just taking it into the sort of outer corner of my eyelid. Very straightforward, very traditional. I can do some sort of more interesting or slightly different eye looks. If anybody wants me to, let me know. But this is just a nice, quick and easy way of getting some depth and drama into the eye. So I'm just moving it. Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. Mine doesn't look perfect, as you can see, because in a minute we're going to blend. And miraculously, when you use an eyeshadow of high quality with the right brush, it all just blends and ends up looking perfect. So I've just blended again, that darker shade. So you can just got a little bit of drama in there. What I'm actually doing now is, because my eye is hooded and my crease is actually quite a long way down now, it's not a very flattering place, I'm actually looking ahead and putting some extra of the impact, the drama colour, where you're actually going to see it. So I'm almost lifting my own crease. So I'm just applying that darker colour. Otherwise, you're not going to see it, and I want it to be seen. If you want to just have it in the crease and it's seen when you blink, that's fine. But I wanted a little bit more impact. So with my eye open, using that pencil type brush, I did that. And now, again, blend, 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 blend. All things work out when you blend, I promise. There's a lot of blending in this video. I've tried to speed up some of the blending because it just goes on, but you can't overblend. So I've gone back in now with my angled brush that had the medium colour, and I'm using the medium colour because it's quite a bright, light, warm shade, and I'm putting some brightness in the inner corner of my eye and above my brow. If I was going out and I wanted real impact, I would highlight with the lightest shade, but because we're daytime, I wanted to use the slightly warmer medium shade. And again, we're blending with that slightly domed blending brush. Again, I've speeded this up because it's not very exciting watching someone put pencil eyeliner on, but the pencil is so soft. You can see it's barely dragging my eye. I'm making life easier for myself because I have movable lids now. I've got soft skin that wants to move, so just stretching out gently my eyelid. This is speeded up. I don't work this quick. Nobody needs to work this quick. Don't panic. I take as long as it takes with the pencil to line my eyes. But it is so soft. You can see my eyes aren't dragging. They aren't being pulled around. You barely need to touch the skin and the pencil's there. Now we're going on to brows. Again, I've speeded this up because watching someone do their brows isn't very exciting. I'm not doing anything particularly elaborate. I've just taken the firm, small, slanted head brush that's in the kit, and I'm applying some Eleanorly brow powder. And that's done. I'm now going into complexion. So I'm applying my under eye concealer. I'm actually going to use my finger initially because my concealers are quite a firm texture, and they're not a runny cream, they're a firm texture because I want lots of coverage. So I'm warming that one with my finger as I'm applying it, and then I'm just tapping it onto my face, and then I'm going to go in with my concealer brush, as you can see there. I want lots and lots of coverage where I need it, so those dark circles, the corners of my nose, and then I don't want to be moving it too much. I just want to be letting that product sit where I want the coverage and then blending the edges with my concealer brush, which you can see is quite big. Traditionally, that would have been a foundation brush, but I use a different brush for foundation, which I show you and provide you, and I use that nice big one for concealing because you can still get into the nooks and crannies. Starting to look a bit more human now. Doesn't matter how good my eye makeup is until my complexion. And there you go, you can even tidy up. If you do your eyes first and then do your concealer and foundation, you can cheat and tidy up the corners. And I'm just showing you that you can also use it for highlighting or liquid blusher, whatever you've got. Now we're into home territory for me, foundation. So I'm showing you how I'm applying my foundation. Now don't be distressed that it looks a little bit yellow. I like a yellow based foundation because it helps cancel out that ruddy redness in my skin. All foundation slightly oxidizes once you've had it on for a little while, and most foundations oxidize with a slightly pinker tone than when they go on. It's just the nature of the beast. So you'll see actually, although when I'm applying it with my dirty, look at me, I'm embarrassed, my grubby much loved foundation brush, which comes in the kit, and you can see it's contoured beautifully. And again, I'm blending for ages now, so I've speeded it up, but the brush is perfect. Small, firm, round circles, buffing and blending. And you'll see once that foundation's been on my skin for a minute or so, it oxidizes slightly and it's a perfect match. Also, there is collagen and lots of hydrating ingredients in my foundations. Again, so within a few minutes of wearing them, your skin looks incredible because it's plumping out the fine lines and wrinkles on the surface of the skin. So the longer you're wearing the foundation, the better it is. You can see already the colour is starting to settle. Again, lots of blending. It's more important, I can't overstate it enough. Good brushes and blending, and you can't go wrong. Look at me showing you my double chin, the things I do for you guys. This is not a flattering angle. It's a good angle for you guys because you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going back in with my concealer brush. Again, just making sure I've blended everything out. I've chosen today, because I'm quite tired, I've chosen not to foundation then conceal. I've just used the concealer under my eyes and blended it into my foundation. Now we're using the smaller of the powder brushes. You can really do what you want. I like to use the smaller of my brushes for bronzing, just because then I've got one brush that I'm using with my darker product and one brush that I'm using with my lighter product. There truly is no rules with this. You can use it as your travel version, whatever you like. I like to use this one. You can see how fine the powders are as well, because you'll see a little mist every now and then, and that's how fine the powders are. They just woof up in the air. So I'm just applying my bronzer, which is one of my finishing powders, an Eleanorly finishing powder, but in a colour that's a little bit darker for than my natural tone. It's just so finely milled. It's more subtle than a bronzer this time of year. So I use, and there's the full size face brush, and you can see me comparing them. So the full size face brush, I've now gone in with my sort of correct colour, the colour that's flattering and brightening and concealing on my skin of the Eleanorly powder, and I'm going into the centre of the face where I need that real setting. So I'm patting it under the eye to set my concealer, around the nose, my chin, my forehead. So I've got some light brightening and setting colour in the centre panel of my face and some darker shade around the outside. You can see my well-loved, I can't believe I didn't wash my brushes, but I'm trying to be real. So this is my blusher brush. Soft, slightly rounded, not flat like your face brush, because we don't want to apply too much. We want to be meeting that nice rounded cheek, and then we've got control. Haven't got a flat brush surface that's just depositing a panel of colour. We can actually softly apply that blush, and they're properly human now. Again, speeding up here. Gorgeous soft again. You can see they're soft, they're not dragging. It's one of my Eleanorly lip pencils. I use it all over the lip as a lovely base. And a nice bright lip, I thought today. I love this colour. It's one of my newer shades and I absolutely adore it. And again, you've seen a woman put lipstick on. I didn't think I needed to slow this down. I don't tend to use a brush. If I'm doing photographic work or maybe on a bride, I might use a brush. But I think the lipsticks tubes are shaped beautifully to actually apply it. You can tell I'm starting to feel sassy now. I'm zhuzhing the hair. Going now into mascara. The Eleanorly mascara is a lovely, soft, flexible, rubberized wand. It's flat, so you can get right into the base of the lashes without depositing colour all over your eyelid, because our eyelids are soft, our cheeks are a little bit more rounded. We're not 19 anymore, a lot of us. And you can use that flat part of the brush to really push those lashes and get a little bit of a curl in there. It's a nice, soft, creamy liquid formulation, so you can really layer up. And I am sassing up the hair, feeling like myself now, feeling good. Full face is on, all the brushes used, nothing wasted. And I'm ready for the day.